Welcome to La Vida Rosa. I'm your host, Pinky, and today we're going to be talking about Married at First Sight. So if you'd like to see more, then just stay tuned, like, comment, and subscribe. And without further ado, let's get into this video. I'm sorry that this review is so late. I low-key forgot about the episode. It's been so boring, y'all. I saw on MAFS Fan that they're going to really try and drag this out. Wait a minute. Let me look up the schedule, because that really made me mad. So May 17th, our last rodeo, is Decision Day Part 1. May 24th, the final decision, Decision Day Part 2. Since when are we splitting up Decision Day? Since when do we need 2 episodes when the episodes are at least an hour and a half long? Y'all can't put all of it in one episode, and y'all really act like we don't know what these people are going to say. Like, y'all act like this season was just so explosive. I could almost see it if y'all were to have done it on Kristen Paige's season. But y'all are splitting up one of the most boring seasons y'all have ever produced. Y'all going to split up Decision Day. May 31st, first dates and swapping mates. June 7th, last call for Music City. June 14th, cast tell all. Okay, that's for previous seasons. And then we're going to get June 21st, reunion part 1, June 28th, reunion part 2. What? So what is all of this filler y'all are putting in between Decision Day and the reunion? Because the last time I checked, the reunion comes after Decision Day. So are y'all putting up like some sort of update in between? Like, why are y'all stretching out this boring season? My theory is, I could be wrong. My theory is that, of course, the views were down this season because it was boring. There was nothing to watch. Nothing happened. And y'all were stretching out these episodes. They already cut them down from 2 hours. Y'all didn't get the views y'all were looking for. So now you're going to stretch out the episodes so y'all can squeeze out whatever views y'all can. How about this? Why don't y'all do a better job of matching people? Because y'all really got into the salacious love and hip hop version of reality, and this is not what the core fan base wanted. We don't enjoy the mismatching of people. How about y'all actually try to match somebody decent? I feel like this season could have been so much better had y'all swapped Shaq and Kristen and Eris and Jasmine. It would have been that much better of a season, because guess what? Kirsten and Eris still would have gave us drama, because that's what they do. And we would have had a beautiful love story possibly between Shaq and Jasmine. At least we would have had people that would have been trying from the jump with those two. When I saw that schedule, it sent me over the edge. I didn't like it. Let's start with Chris and Nicole. They're still having this living together debate. She's anxious because she doesn't want it looming over their heads of whether they're going to be staying together or not. She wants to go ahead and get this settled. And he thinks the decision should wait until after Decision Day because of the financial impact. What if they don't make it? I would feel some type of way about was Nicole. I'm not going to lie. I guess it is a realistic way of seeing things, but do you plan on being with me or not? But then again, we have had couples that broke up right after Decision Day, so I guess it is a real concern. They haven't had an argument yet in their relationship. So the other men were kind of talking to Chris and like, well, I want to see how y'all are after your first argument. She doesn't want him to lose himself in the relationship just to make her happy. And whenever the women were out having their little bachelorette type of outing, she told those men that she was an alpha, and they immediately started calling her man a beta. And she's like, no, he's not a beta because he throws it down. Don't say that ever again, Nicole, especially if that's going to be your response. We know Chris is a very sweet, nice man. He can be very passive. He can be very soft-spoken. That's fine. But your response to he's beta is, well, he throws it down. Just don't even say that anymore, because you invited that conversation and then it got away from you, and it just, don't do it again. Shaq and Kristen. So when we first start the episode, we see that they created a song about their relationship. Shaq, he did give some really good lyrics. Shaq gives me very creative person. She got up there and sang and could not sing a lick at all. at all. It was very much giving Zach from this last season of Love is Blind. She sung it with her whole heart. I will say she's trying. I will give her that, okay? If you get up on TV and make a fool out of yourself like that, you are trying. It was cute, I guess. But he still says that he doesn't feel secure in this marriage. He's still complaining about not being supported. He feels like his support that he gives her is not reciprocated. And I'm just like, well, you have been very dry. You've come in the house, barely spoke. You haven't hugged her, you haven't kissed her. Like, what type of support do you expect to get from somebody? Like, Shaq, do you want to be mothered? Like, do you want to be babied? Like, what type of support are you looking for? And will you please tell her what you are looking for? Because you just expect her to know. Clearly she doesn't. So why don't you tell her what it is that you want from her, so we can stop playing this game of, oh, you're not supporting me, but you're not telling her how. So then they met up with the experts, and they said that they both have learned to be accountable to one another. Shaq finally has met her father. The father didn't want to be on camera. I'm guessing that's what took so long for him to meet him. But they met off camera. It went well. He actually likes him, and he feels like he could be a father figure to him. And he was like, it was that simple. Like, can you just be happy you met the man? Like, why do you have to have something smart to say? Anyway, Shaq be getting on my nerves these days. Like, I used to like Shaq, but he really is petty. He was just like, see, it was that simple. Why couldn't this happen weeks ago? It happened. That's all that matters, okay? Be happy with that. And I love that Dr. Pepper was like, you know, families operate differently, and she delivered. So let's dwell in that, not in the negative. When the fellas got together, they asked Shaq, could you see yourself single? And he basically said he doesn't want to. That's pretty much it, y'all, with them. I hope they say no on decision day, because it's not clicking. It's not working. It's not making sense. It's annoying. Now let's move on to Gina and Clint. Now I'm bringing up McKinley working out with Eris on this segment because basically we're talking about Gina and Clint. So basically he said that he did slide in Gina's DMs, but basically he was asking her about one of her singer friends. So that was anticlimactic. Like, why did y'all make it seem like he was flirting with Gina, which I do feel like low-key he was flirting with Gina. I do feel like Gina probably was receptive. I don't care that you brought up another woman. It just, something about it didn't feel right. When you said that you're attracted to her and you know for a fact she's attracted to you, how do you know that for a fact? Like, I just don't trust the dynamic between you two. And then also he did say he would go on a date with her. And he also said he would initiate if they did get divorced. And you say this to Clint's closest friend in this experiment. You better be lucky Eris is not messy, because Eris said he's going to stay out of it. Eris, this is one time where you probably should have opened your mouth. You're not going to get exposed now. Like, he's so weird to me. Speaking of weird, we see Gina and Clint go on a date, and you know, he ended up confronting her about what she said to the experts, basically calling him weird. And you never actually said any of this to my face, what you said to the experts. And he said it felt like a character attack. I believe they said all this stuff in confessionals, by the way. They don't really say much to each other. And when Clint gets the tiniest bit of pushback, he just brushes it off and just whatever. You know, after that whole argument they had on their honeymoon. She says she feels like he has a lot of maturing to do. And it's just like, Clint is just a fun guy. Like, he's a jokester. Like, he's the life of the party. He's charming. He is the one that's going to keep the conversation going in the room. There's nothing wrong with that. I don't see anything just completely immature about him. He has a solid job. He's very successful in that job. He, you know what I'm saying? Like, where it counts, he's mature. So if he's hanging out with friends, I don't even see him telling like the worst jokes in the world. Like, he's not telling the most childish jokes that are just so embarrassing. You are just a stick in the mud, period. Or you just like a more laid back man, and there's nothing wrong with that. Clearly his personality is not what you're attracted to, but don't talk down on him and make it seem like he's an immature person just because you don't click with his personality. That's unfair. And also, I could see if he wasn't handling your feelings delicately, but he's been placating you since the honeymoon. That's mature, because An immature man would be throwing all that stuff back in your face over and over and over. Basically, when he confronted her about the bizarre comment, she's like, you are bizarre. Like, she doubled down on it, like, you are bizarre. And Gina, your lips are bizarre. Your lips are very off-putting and bizarre. But she claims she didn't mean it like that. And once again, he's not going to press any further. I think Clint just knows what it is at this point. And I feel like he confronted her because she never said anything. He thought they were on the same page and they weren't. And once he saw they're not, he's like, okay, there's really no hope at this point. So might as well just let this go. What's the point of fighting and arguing with her when she already don't care? Finally, let's move on to Eris and Jasmine. They meet up with the experts and they claim they made progress. The progress is he has successfully set alarms throughout the day to text her daily, thanks to Dr. Pepper. So I feel like a lot of this advice that he's taking, because he's not being genuine about it, it kind of comes off as, I don't know, it's like it's giving her false hope. He doesn't really care about her like that. So even though he's texting her, he had to have an alarm tell her that. You shouldn't have to have an alarm remind you to text the person you care about. But they're holding hands and they're hugging, and he said that she's speaking up more, and you know, he feels comfortable with her in social settings because she's outgoing, and you know, that touched her because she's a mentor, when in actuality, once again, it's something that benefits him, not something that he actually likes about her. You know what I'm saying? Genuinely, he told her that she's a great listener and she's strong for putting up with him not being attracted to her. He's been patient with her communication problems and pushed her to be better at that. And you know, when they were sitting close together, he had his hand on her hip, and you know, for Pastor Cal and Dr. Pepper, that was enough to rejoice. For the men's outing, they asked Eris, is he missing the single life? And he said yes and no. He misses the temporary satisfaction of sleeping with random people, I guess. But obviously it never works out long term. And, you know, he was surprised that he actually missed her and the dog when he went on that trip. And he came back to the home and they weren't there. And basically she helped create a peaceful environment for him in spite of everything. So then we move on to Jasmine discussing her relationship with the other women. She feels like he's been too hot and cold, and she thinks it could be better after the process. Nicole said it's almost like he's waiting for after the experiment so he can really give his all. And Jasmine was like, that's not fair to me and my decision that I'm going to have to make on decision day. Exactly. Because what is Nicole talking about? Girl, shut up. I will say that Jasmine does seem more confident, and it does seem like she will make the decision that's best for her. I'm crossing my fingers on that. Hopefully they let her go first. Okay, do not let Eris go first. And that's the very least you could do. So then these group of single men come over and start, you know, I don't know if they were trying to flirt or whatever, but they were definitely mingling. You know, Jasmine was enjoying the attention that she was getting from this man. The man was trying to show out, saying, I got a 740 outside. Y'all don't know nothing about cars. So that wouldn't have meant anything to me. You saying you have a 740, I don't even know what that is. I don't even know what that's referring to at all. So him jingling them keys, talking about, oh, I got a 740. That would have turned me all the way off. I would have rolled my eyes so hard. I would have walked away. What? Boy, bye. I'm married. And I ain't even proud of my husband, but I'm married. I'm glad I can say I'm married so I can get away from this situation. But she just liked the attention of a man because her own husband doesn't pay attention to her like that. You know what I'm saying? So it's sad that that little piece of attention really made her happy. But yeah, all the women, they went home and told their husbands about Jasmine talking to this man. I'm like, ooh, y'all traitors. Like, how dare you? But anyway, I didn't care, because who cares? Eris don't really want Jasmine like that. But anyway, y'all, that was my review. Y'all let me know what y'all think down below. Do you agree with me? Do you not agree with me? I'd love to hear your opinion, and I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you tomorrow. I'll see you in my next one. Peace.